Okay, I'm waiting. Got a couple people I want to say hi to.
Oh, no, yeah. Really now?
It's going, but nobody's on. And I got just camera a little.
I gotta fit you and Ray in there.
I will figure it out.
Yeah, and have to turn it a little bit to get.
Probably.
Okay.
One person, two people.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Ray's gonna be a little bit later because he had a equipment breakdown. How's everybody doing? Three people.
Can I pop in
Two.
really fast?
Fine.
I'll get it done now. Get out of your hair. Okay. Hi, I'm just popping in. Grubbing tonight because I need a shower. Very proud of this young man and his two YouTube videos. I want to say hi to anybody that tuned in from my Facebook page, and I want to say special hi to my friend Linda in Australia. Hi, lady. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're staying dry. Take it easy. Thank you, son.
Yep. So yeah, how's everybody doing today? Everybody enjoying the nice Michigan weather here in Michigan?
Rain right now.
It's raining now? Call ahead, rain.
So yeah, it's if you heard, it's raining right now, or trying to rain right now. But yeah, if anybody wants to comment in the live chat, go right ahead. So yeah.
Yeah, flooding.
Probably two people that don't have YouTube accounts to comment.
In Australia. She's in South Wales, Australia area. They're having massive rain.
So yeah.
100-year, basically 100-year rain.
Yeah, it was. I had a little problem getting the camera going. It's going good, registering, then all of a sudden it just didn't want to register in the port I had it in. So yeah.
Daughter, granddaughter, and son of mine. And you return to the roof between farms.
Oh, hey Ken. Yeah. See, things are going good in your neck of the woods over on Allen Road there. So yeah, having nice weather out here. Actually, it's been really dry for this time of year in Michigan. Ow. We're getting in. You know, the microphone is picking that up.
Oh, good. Family shit.
So yeah, we've been getting onto fields and getting in fields we normally can't this time of year. And things are starting to green up too, which is unusual. Yeah, see all nice little alfalfa plants out in the field. Yeah, it's a little different this time of year. So yeah, we've been cleaning up the barnyard after the winter. So yeah, doing that. Starting to run out of things to talk about on my own here on this live stream. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, as you've seen in the video, we got a different spreader. We had to. The New Holland 680 was basically ready to break in half or floor give out or something. Only thing that's holding it together right now. So yeah, we bought a New Idea 3632. That is actually a really nice spreader. It's it's either number 80 or number 60 or number 80 chain to drive off the PTO, to drive the shaft that goes back. And yeah, New Holland used I want to say 1-inch belt, just one 1-inch V-belt. Yeah, you can load heavy lumps of bed pack in that New Idea and it just chews them up. Whereas that New Holland, I would have been shoveling it off the beater because the belt gave out. So yeah, New Idea's a really nice spreader. Man, we got a bunch more steers. We got another 21 steers out of here last week. Got them over to Buyer a couple miles away. He liked them. So yeah, we're just getting things cleaned up to bring in, well, hopefully bring in another 15 in the next 2 weeks. Another 15 bottle calves. Be nice to, anyways. But yeah. One person. 2 people.
Ray's pulling in.
Ray's here. So yeah. Alright. I gotta step away and let him in the house. Ooh, 4 people. Yeah, just got it going. It must be on. Yeah, it's on. Chair, we'll get the camera set up.
All right.
2 people on. All right. I'd have to scoot over a little
All
more.
right. Anybody on yet?
2 people.
2 people? Who's on?
All right, we'll just turn the damn monitor.
There you go. Easier to do that.
It doesn't say who's on. It'd be nice if it did.
Well, only does when there's a comment then.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, if it'd be nice if it actually gave a list like on this side on who's actually watching, but it doesn't.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. All right. Ken
Clemens, yeah.
where you from, Ken?
So not too far, like 2.5 miles.
Oh,
that
okay.
way.
All right. All right. Is Ken farming?
He's a truck driver.
Truck driver. All right. All right. All right. Well, I just I got here late because I was working on a Bobcat track machine, a hose blue. We were moving some manure with it.
You lost track of time.
Yeah. Well, you know how that is. The days are getting longer right now, and we're spending more time outdoors. And we're, right now the crunch is on. I feel like it's like getting to be like summer because it's unseasonably warm here in March right now, and so we're getting, what was it, 70 degrees today?
No, it was like 61 was the high. Past 2 days were 70.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty hot today. I was out stretching fence, so I've got about a 300-acre piece to fence in that I just got. So running high tensile fence.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fence going through the woods, going around swamps. Nothing's big, open, and straight. It's all,
Up, down, hills.
Up, down, hills. So it's gonna be
You don't farm anything flat.
I don't, not really. Not a lot of. Not all the good farmers got the flat ground. All the big guys got the really good ground.
Pretty much.
So when you're a smaller farmer, you can't, with the prices of corn and all that, those guys are paying a lot more per acre. They get the better ground.
$5 bushel corn.
$5 bushel corn. All right. Anybody out there baling hay? Anybody? So.
Crickets are in the comments.
Okay, so Ken's a local truck driver then, huh?
Yeah. Got a few pigs. Had a few pigs.
All right. You pig. What are you trucking, Ken? If you're still on. So we got like 4 people on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us about your day today? I can't do all the talking, Jacob. Jacob had me come over here, I think, do all the talking.
I did all the talking before your ass showed up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I see you got one comment so far. Oh, there's Claude. Hey, Claude.
Oh, wow. That's a surprise.
Hey, Rick. Uncle Rick's there.
Right. You got Claude Palmer then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Claude's on. Hope says hi.
Got anything planted in the garden yet, ask him?
Anything planted yet, Claude? You probably got the, I guess garlic would be going in, right?
Garlic, I believe kohlrabi.
Kohlrabi. Well, okay. And then if you had kale and spinach that went to seed last fall, like I know people that are picking kale right now.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah. Kale is
then-
the crop that never dies.
And then guy that I used to do some farming with, an old timer,
Claude doesn't have anything in the garden
he
yet.
basically did no-till gardening. So what he did is he just added horse shit with sawdust every year, mulched that, and added it on top of his garden, like probably.
Timer.
Oh, hey, there's Josh. All right. Hey, Josh, I forgot to call you, but I figured you'd find. What did he say? Planting beets?
Planting beets up by the thumb.
Oh, sugar beets? Okay. Wow. Okay.
A lot of sugar beet area up
I went down by Van Gilder's on the way here on Grand River. Them fields, looked like they had finishing passes on them. So I don't know if they planted, but they're it's dark when I came through. But yeah, as I say, a buddy of mine, he does like no-till farming. So gardening. He'll put about 6 inches of that mulch on every fall, every winter. And The cold weather crops like spinach and the kale and all that and arugula, like he'll let those go to seed in the fall, and in the spring or in the fall they'll start sprouting almost like wheat, and they'll overwinter. And by mid-April he's picking arugula, spinach, things like that. If he'd gone in there and tilled it, he'd have none of that.
Wow.
And then what he does is he pries that mulch back about maybe a 8 or 10 inch row, and he's got one of those mini rototillers, and he tills a row and plants in that, and it really helps. Let's see, what's Josh say they were?
And Van Gilders have been doing anhydrous.
Okay. Well, Munsell's
Ken Clemens said that he does all kinds of freight service.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, Munsell's were doing. He had somebody with a big. Who was they with that big New Holland? He said
Krebs.
And they were doing that on Munsell's property.
Yes.
And that looked like anhydrous. They were knifing it.
Yes.
Okay, and they're doing oats, and there's not a lot of oats grown in this area anymore. They don't pollinate real well. It gets kind of warm now. In the 70s they were growing really good oats here. Now I hear the good oats are along the southern shore of Lake Erie, along the northern Ohio, and then a lot of them up in Canada, and that's what they call those racehorse oats. Really big, nice, fluffy oats. But I was told that it gets too warm here now, like in April or May when they're pollinating. May, I guess.
Yeah, it could be.
And yeah, nobody hardly grows oats here anymore, unless you're doing a cover crop.
Yeah. Oh, there's cookies in the tins if you want to eat one.
Okay. Well, you might have to get one. So
yeah.
All right, Josh got a new hayfield he's putting in. When are you going to plant your hayfield, Josh? When do you think it's safe to do it? Because some guys are talking about planting already in March. And I planted once like the first week of April, and what's he say? Can't get
the high test weight on oats here.
Yeah,
because you need like 40 pounds a bushel.
And why is that, Josh? Did you hear any?
That's just what like General Mills wants, or cereal companies.
I know what they want, but why is it we're not getting the high test weights in this area anymore after the 2 inches of rain we get tonight? Oh,
I heard an inch on the weather.
Well, it was yesterday it was 1 to 2 inches, and today they had downgraded, I saw, like to 1 3/4 inches. Have they gone back up to 2? Because really we need 2 inches. Of course, we don't need it all at once. That nice chisel plowing job you have oriented up and down the hill, Josh, ought to facilitate taking a fair amount of soil off with the water, right?
Yeah, he was telling me last night, because we had a Farm Bureau meeting, that he broadcast seeded alfalfa grass mix onto burned down hayfield. He got sprayed with Roundup. Broadcast it on and just ran the living daylights out of it with a cultipacker.
Yeah, so I call it my modified no-till. It wasn't no-till.
Yes,
it wasn't no-till drilled. It was no-till broadcast. So I don't know if anybody's done that before, but I couldn't get a hold of no-till drill.
Right.
Neighbor of mine, he had already had his no-till drill set up for soybeans, because I asked him last minute if I could rent his drill. He said sure, but I already got it all adjusted for beans. So it's kind of a last minute decision. I didn't have it burned with Roundup the fall ahead of time. So I'm basically broadcasting on top of thatch. So I was worried about soil to seed contact. So put it on a little bit heavy. Not sure I'd recommend anybody doing it. So I did have some bare patches. I did go back in June with Mark Cornell's no-till drill, 750 John Deere, and I till into it.
They were nice.
Although I'm not seeing evidence that the later no-till did a whole lot of good.
You had bad luck with some of your fields last year.
Yeah. So,
of course,
what I did recently, I just got done broadcasting Italian and annual ryegrass and orchard grass on top of that. Because I've had really good luck. I'm really impressed with ryegrass. Up around here, it's not a weed, but you get that farther down south where it doesn't really winter kill. They treat ryegrass. It's a pretty important grazing crop down there, but they also kind of treat it like quackgrass here. People call it a weed down there, but up here it doesn't really over. The annual will barely overwinter, and the Italian, which is kind of like an annual, might be a biannual, and it'll probably overwinter here. But ryegrass, you throw it on bare soil without having to have a lot of soil seed contact or cultipacking it in, it comes up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a nice crop.
Because I tried that with cereal rye last year.
Oh, Josh said he disked it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I thought you were trying to get the water off the field as fast as you could, Josh, the way you had it chisel plowed the other day when I got there. And I just thought, a couple inches of rain, why not? I thought he wanted to get rid of his hill going up his driveway.
That's a hill.
Yeah, you got a good hill there.
I remember when we hauled corn over the lot elevator, 5,000 with two 100 bushel wagons. You hit that hill as fast as you could. That 5,000 would be dragging ass.
Oh, I'm talking about the hill
going
going up Josh's driveway into the property for his barn.
I'm talking about on Fleming Road Hill there.
Yeah.
That's a good hill.
Oh, past his place? I'm trying to think. No, that's flat past. You mean past Chase Lake Road? I mean Chase Lake.
Just right south of Maxwell Road there.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not thinking of that. So
that hill's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. All right. So Claude, you still on? Are you guys out of the hay business altogether now this year? Because I know I talked to Claude, and he was him and his brother were getting done with hay, right?
Yeah, last year.
He's going to do corn and beans. And I remember talking to Claude in the fall, and he said round bales were a hot item. And they are, man. I mean, round bales are selling good. We need more round bales. Oh, he said Ray's never gone north. Oh yeah, where's Claude? Yeah. Oh, you're out of the hay then. Yeah, okay. Tell you, hay's pretty good market right now.
Hay's gonna be scarce if we get a massive frost right now while it's turning green.
Well, that's this is kind of like what happened. If you want a good idea of the hay market, you look right now when you have a really warm March, and you look, those alfalfa crowns are growing. I mean, they're up.
Hi, Ryan.
And what's going to happen now when we have this warm March? We're due to have some good killing frost on the average. About 4 or 5 of them in the month of April, and it's not uncommon. Like last year, we had the first week and a half of May that orchard grass and alfalfa was up 8 to 10 inches.
And then we got the week of 25-degree weather.
25-degree weather and below. And when you got up about halfway north of here, in Michigan, they were in the teens. So first cutting hay yields for a lot of people were
fucked.
They were half of normal yield. And
no, Ken, I actually want a tractor that can pull. The only good deers have 2 cylinders.
Ken, Jacob would know a good tractor if you drove over him with one. So he has to come over and ride some of mine.
And that's coming from the guy that has Massey Ferguson.
Massey Ferguson. Hey, I got 1L Chalmers.
Yeah, but it doesn't run.
It runs. I just got to put the gas tank back on it. In the hood.
Oh, he actually did go put some effort.
You can't use this ethanol fuel. It destroys the rubber fuel hose line.
You can use ethanol fuel in these tractors without a problem. You just got to run it through fast enough.
Right. Don't see. So Ryan says that so he's an Alice guy. So I figured Ryan would be he'd be. He's up there in Maine, so he must have some good ones. It gets cold in Maine, so
Well, one thing about Else Chalmers is it's hit and miss if you can get one that can start in cold weather. Because this Alice 180 out here, unless you plug it in, it ain't going.
I have to plug all my stuff in cold weather, except that my white 260 has that manifold preheater, which works good. It can be in the teens, but it has a huge battery bank, so it's a 60 horse tractor. It has the same double 3EH 6-volt batteries in series that the big white has. The tractor that's twice the size. So I just thought the battery bank in the 2105 was underpowered. So I'm going to convert those to two 12 volts in parallel next time I place batteries on the white. Because the Massey's are two 12s in parallel, and they crank better.
If you burn like 5 gallons a day in your gas tractors, ethanol is not going to be an issue.
Well, I don't know what's anybody's opinion on that, because the ethanol sure screws up small engines, the carburetors. So he said his 185. Ryan says 185 starts right up, and Ryan uses ethanol all the time.
Well, now that 185, Else Chalmers 180, 185. 190s in that class of tractors, you had two 12-volt batteries in parallel in those machines. Ford, on the other hand, they loved the big, massive Ford DLT. They're like a fucking 100-pound, 150-pound battery. You've seen Ford DLTs, you know.
Yeah, even the Ford 4000s had big battery too. Even the gas ones had a big, long, narrow battery, I think.
Well, that Ford 5000, that little 4-cylinder, that's got the same exact setup as the big 6 cylinders used.
Yeah. Let's see, but
actually, that's got Case IH battery in it, and that battery's good.
3 or 4 main companies.
Mm-hmm.
Petrol makes batteries and
Exide,
Duracell, yeah. So, and it really the difference in the quality of the battery is how heavy the lead plates are in them.
Yes.
So within all those,
Rural King batteries
they got Exide a lot of times, or was it TSC selling Exide, right?
TSC is selling Travelers, which are I think rebranded Exides.
Yeah, because they had Exide brand in there for a while. But yeah, Ryan says he uses ethanol. So my one gas tractor, I use my John Deere 60. I go and buy the 90 octane ethanol free. I pay the extra money, and it runs. I notice the John Deere 60 starts way better, and it just seems to run better on the higher octane without the ethanol. All engines are terrible with ethanol, Ryan says.
Just
ethanol gas, we always had good luck with gas tractors. Sitting with gas in them, the truck is, what is that? The truck is to just shut off. Oh, the trick is just shut off the gas so it doesn't sit. Yeah, that's the thing. I was told that the ethanol, what collects water gets in there?
It will absorb water.
Yeah, which is weird. I just don't know how. Yeah, well, it's alcohol. Alcohol will
farm show one time. A guy converted a 40-20 gas to multi-port or EFI injection setup. EFI live injection setup on a 40-20.
We don't got time for those long-winded stories. Josh says he uses premium. So the premium in the 2-cycle engines is what Josh says. So that's not ethanol free though, right? That's just higher octane still mixed with
it's like 10. 93, yeah. Unless you get racing gas.
Is that what is 93? Yeah, but so the premium though is still blended with the mandatory. Is it 10% ethanol blend now, or is it 15?
10.
Okay.
Last I seen on the pumps, it was 10.
I wasn't sure if it was 15 now. Yeah, correct. Okay, so you're still using ethanol though. What happens with the ethanol? It destroys the small engines. That little diaphragm vibrates and acts as a fuel pump.
Yes.
And you know that little diaphragm in the carburetor when you're rebuilding the car,
Hmm.
and it takes those out. And then Ken says they had Alice Chalmers.
Yeah, we saw that, or I saw that on Sheridan's.
You guys have an Alice Chalmers planter, don't you?
Yeah, Alice 333. It's a no-till monster.
No-till.
Early no-till.
All right. Yeah.
Actually,
And you
that
got-
was the first model.
You got the
no-till
Alice
ever.
Chalmers square baler. You don't see too many of them around anymore.
No, but you get that thing polished up. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw you fall off the hay wagon or whatever in the video, right?
Nope, that didn't get on
It didn't get
camera.
on camera. So can you still get parts for the Alice Chalmers balers?
Surprisingly, yes, if you know the right people.
I mean, are they used parts?
No, you can get new ones yet.
You can get new parts, okay? Because you know things like the knotters would be, you know, knotter parts if you had to get, you know.
Well, yeah, knotters would be an issue, being those were made by Oliver.
Okay, so you can't get the knotter parts.
Mm,
The
not
knotter,
unless-
I don't know, for those of you that don't know, on a square baler, small square baler, the knotters is a pretty important. So if you can't get them,
Yeah, the kind
you
of
know,
important,
I mean,
and they operate by magic.
yeah. Yeah, it took me years to learn how. When I was really younger, I went into the John Deere dealer up in Fenton. We used to have Mid-State Equipment, and I was asking Don Lauer at the time. He was the old baler mechanic that didn't live, you know, went all around the area fixing balers. And I asked him. I walked in there one day, and I said, "Is there a manual or a video or something?" Can't remember videos back in, well, people had VHS back in them days, but there was no YouTube. He said, you know, about how knotters work, and he brought the John Deere service manual out on knotters. And he goes, "Here you go, take that home and read it." And then I was worried about getting back to him. So a few days later, I walked in the dealership and they said, "Here's the manual." He goes, "Did you read it all?" I go, "Not all." He goes, "Well, then take it back and read it all." And he had step by step on how to fix the knotters and how they worked.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
New Holland, or Else Chalmers 303 Bale Chiefs did use New Holland knotters, but by the time they got to 444, it was a Oliver knotter, from what I've read.
And you can put, I've talked to people who put completely different knotter frame assembly.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just pull the whole thing off with the clutch and, you know, the cams and everything. And if you can bolt it on top of your baler,
It'll work, yeah.
yeah. Although I noticed like New Hollands have a really different drive on the side
Yes.
and clutch and all that. So I don't know how you'd make that, you know, work, but on a lot of balers, I think you could switch knotters if you were,
Right. Well,
if you wanted to work hard enough.
Yeah. Else Chalmers 303, Else Chalmers 444 and 443, because 444 came before the 443. However, Else Chalmers thought that one up. There was the Else Chalmers 442 baler. I seen one of those before my buddy sent it for scrap, and it was the freaking weirdest baler you ever seen. It looked nothing like Else Chalmers. I actually read someplace on the internet it was made by not Welger, some company over in England.
Yeah, I want to see, does anybody out there got the Alice Roto baler? The small little, remember they had there was a small round baler, remember? They made those rolls?
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't it called the Roto baler?
Yeah. That
I
was
don't know if I've seen
that was one of the first round balers ever to come out.
I've seen bales made by one of them once, but I don't see, you know, I see square balers once in a while.
Thank you, Ryan. It was Jones baler.
it helped that Ellis Chalmers bought out the Jones Baylor Company in England. Okay. Small scale farmer. Okay.
Hey man, how you doing?
We put all new Niders on the New Holland square baler last spring. It was
Worth the money.
Okay. Yeah. I put new Niders on, and you're right, it is worth the money. A lot of times when people are, you're trying to replace individual parts on the Nidder, and
sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
yeah, you can. I mean, you can get, as long as things aren't worn out. But a lot of problems you start having Nidder problems is one symptom might imitate 10, similar
other
symptoms.
things.
You say, okay, is it a twine holder issue, or I've had it where mechanics could had to shim bill hook springs, put heavier springs on, whatever. I mean, even go to the hardware store, and at that point you go, well, should I just replace the whole Nidder? Another thing people overlook on square balers, the drive chains. A lot of people, round balers, those drive chains they take a lot more torque rotating that roll.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had a lot of people, they've had train wrecks, when those chains on the square balers go out, so you got your big, plunger drive and sprocket drive for the Nidder system.
Okay, I got a question for Larson Valley.
Hey Brad, how you doing, buddy?
Why did you change your name?
A couple times. Did Farming 180, and then he went into Larson Valley. I think Northern Wisconsin Farming is that's a cool name.
It was.
I mean, you got the patent on that one.
It was like, it was Northern Wisconsin Farming. I went on one day and looked, and then all of a sudden it's like, where the hell did Larson Valley come from?
Well, because that's the name of his farm, right?
Okay.
I mean, right? Brad Larson. I mean, I assume, isn't that the name of the farm? Larson Valley Farm? But it's just his channel's called Northern Wisconsin Farming, I think. Or unless,
that was actually a really recognizable channel, too.
Yeah. Oh, he's probably got to switch it. But he probably does that just to trick people up, or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is it in, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Northern, unless he has another business called Northern Wisconsin Farming. But I assumed that Brad's farm is called Larson Valley Farm. So here he'll explain it. Okay, yeah.
Account got hacked.
Oh, a buddy of mine who is in the cybersecurity said to change all my account names and passwords. Yes, the farmers. Yeah. Okay. All right. Brad, you got any Ellis Chalmers equipment? We've been talking Ellis Chalmers because we got a bunch of Ellis Chalmers people on here, like Ryan and Jacob here. But I don't know if he's John Deere tractors.
Yeah, he is.
And the chop. What's his name? He got John Deere chopper.
He's got John Deere chopper.
And
he's got a new idea cut conditioner.
Oh, not a disc mower, or is it a
new idea cut conditioners?
Oh, the cut conditioner. Yeah. I had one of those. Yeah, you have two of them, don't you?
No, we have one.
They made them in what, 7 and 9 foot model?
Yes.
Yeah.
And each of those would kill a tractor if you hit something with them. They leveled woodchuck holes out nice.
I started off running the 7 foot new idea cut conditioner with my John Deere 60. I mean, it was first gear, full throttle. And let's see here. Ryan says, I like my Ellis around here. They're cheap horsepower.
Yes, they are.
Says, I'm mainly Deere and New Holland. Have the Case IH 83. What's the 8309? Is that what that is? Oh, disc bind. Okay.
I think that's
270 cut
conditioner. Yeah. We got the 270.
Claude, I've got
LSC in the back corner of the barn.
Yeah. So Claude,
I think I've seen it.
Claude, you got Oliver's, right? I mean, some old ones you restored. And then what did he run when he was farming? Deere, big what do you run now? I guess
he's got a white 4-wheel drive with the 3208.
3208.
Couple of the big Deers. I think he had a big Case at one time.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen
They've
I've
had an assortment.
seen Claude on Facebook with us. What was that 1655 or something? Or
1655, 770.
I had
John Deere 830.
I had the 1655. Talk about something that didn't start. 1655. They had the Waukesha diesel and they put an underpowered Delco starter on them. And I remember they were famous for that because I took the starter off and I took it to the auto parts in Milford. This is probably 25 plus years ago.
When you had color in your hair.
And color, that's color. And the auto parts guy, the owner, he called his starter guy.
See you in a few, Timer.
Yep. See you, Josh. You taking off?
He'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, gotta put the kids to bed. Yeah, maybe back. And the auto parts guy said, "What do you got, an Oliver?" And this was in Milford, so they were known. And because somebody told me go from a Type 30 Delco starter to a Type 35, and I did. And then you couldn't start the tractor in the summer hardly.
Wow.
And maybe it had low compression too. I don't know, but it didn't. They were kind of
imagine your tractors having a lot of hours.
This was, I think, about 94 when I switched from the Oliver 1655 to the white 2105.
Mhm.
And that was, I thought I had a Cadillac at that, you know. Oh, Claude says we don't have any big tractors. Is he what ? Is he being sarcastic? Okay, Brad says down at the farm, down at the campground, my uncle has a Cialis that we pulled it. Drinking bucky with 20 people on the wagon. Well, Max the tractor up.
I gotta go to his YouTube channel, see if he's got a video of that drinking buggy.
Oh, Ryan wants he wants an 1855. So an 1855 is that is the that's the
Waukesha.
I thought that was the same size as the 2105. No? So it's a 19.
It has a 310 Waukesha in it, but you can put a Perkins block in it.
See, I was told the Waukeshas are the ones that blow the side of the engine right out when the crank goes.
1855s. Let's see. The 1655 was good. The 1755 had head gasket issues. 1855 had issues with something. I remember.
How you doing, sweetie? Got a border collie here who wants some attention.
A little hobo, yeah.
You could be here all night going through all the problems Oliver's had, but that's why I've got my 3 big tractors.
Oh, if they put fucking oil cooler,
I've got all Perkins 354s, and I love them. I mean, I don't know. Mark Cornell says that the Cummins, whatever Cummins
5.9
he has in his case Maxims, so those
Magnums.
Magnums. Okay, so I don't know squat about IH in case. I had an International 464 gas tractor, and that thing was basically a large lawn and garden tractor almost. It was a 45 horsepower piece of garbage. So I don't really need
any compact purchase.
I don't need internationals. Yeah, it's just they're just so gutless. Okay, Brad says I'll send you a picture of me pulling the Facebook Messenger, Ray.
That would be
okay. Yeah, Brad and I are Facebook friends. So then Claude says the
310s were problems.
Yeah, okay.
They could have avoided a lot of problems.
Is that what that is? Okay.
They could have avoided a lot of problems if they had just put an oil cooler in.
Okay, Brad sent a picture, but my phone's in my truck, but I'll look at it later. Plus, we don't have much internet or cellular service out here, do we?
Nope.
Yeah, so it's bad here. But anyway, so what's everybody's predictions about hay this year? Mine are, I'll tell you mine right now. I think that we've had an exceptionally dry March. We had the same thing in 2012. Except 2012 it was even hotter. It was like 80. We had 80-degree days, and the alfalfa was this tall. And I knew that we were going to have major drought because I've looked at records. Years ago, I read like in our region of the country, we're in southeast Michigan. From June to October, you get a net loss of ground moisture. rain because of evaporation, because of the heat.
Yeah.
Summer rains do not make up for the evaporation. So when you get summer like weather in March and April, you can
You're already
already
starting with a
yeah.
handicap.
And to me, first cutting hay's that's your best bang for your buck. If your first cutting hay yield gets dinged, and then and you know it's going to get dinged by drought, and then when it grows this early, you know you're going to have killing frosts that are going to
Yeah.
bang that hay back. So I think we're going to have
Well, this has got a
strong hay market this year. I really do. Let's see what Brad says. My prediction is I'm not giving up any hay for ground this year. Yeah, I fear it could get. So is it? It's dry and warm up by where you are too, then, Brad. Right?
Well,
I know it
now-
isn't UP watching Ben Vieser's channel. I don't think. How far are you from him? Just like an hour? Or
hop,
something?
skip, and jump.
Yeah, because because he's way over. Vieser's way over there in
Yeah, I
southwestern
subscribe
UP. So, then Ryan says, hopefully so. Drought here.
Hopefully,
Hopefully
drought
no
here.
dryer, but we were having a dry spring. Yeah, so we have gone through the last couple of years of not a lot of hay stocks over winter. I mean, the demand is high. I mean,
Now, let's do a quick recap.
nobody
here
has
on
enough
past
hay
year.
right now to sell.
Right. Our South Lake Superior. 2019 was just mud.
Our south. Okay.
2019 was mud. 2020, we had those killing frosts in May. This year, yeah, it's kind of lining up for drought.
Well, we're gonna have killing frost in April. We always do. There's no way it's gonna stay this warm.
No.
And you can't assume we're just gonna have a super wet April make up for March. But Brad, how far are you from Ashland? Because I used to go up to Superior, Wisconsin, see friends years ago. Drive up across the Mac and go across the UP. And yeah, there's farms up there. It's heavily forested. Of course, Ashland's right on the lake, so the farther you get north, the more forested it is. And I think where Ryan is, I asked him if he's got a lot of moose there. I think he said more moose than people.
Ashland
being
at
Ashland,
45.
45 minutes. Okay, yeah, so about hour south of Ashland. Yeah, close. Yeah, all right. But yeah, I think if you got hay this year, and what I noticed with hay, the niche market is 4x4 round bales. You can, it used to be years ago. I got my first round baler in 2003, and I was selling round bales, but there were some winters you couldn't even sell 50 round bales. And it used to be like the round baler was there to bale the hay for the cows. Maybe a few customers that buy round bales, or if the square baler broke down. Now, if you got too much hay, you can't get it baled with a square baler. You just go, it used to be, oh darn, I gotta get it the round baler. Now it's like, no problem. Thank God I don't gotta run the square baler. I mean, I don't really. I'm pricing it out and doing my numbers.
Oh, Civil Warrior Barnes.
Oh yeah, when you get out east, there is. Yeah, what's that? He says, "Yep,
More moose than people."
A lot of the old barns from Civil. Well, we got no. Do we have barns from Civil? No, not here.
Few and far.
But I remember going to Pennsylvania and looking at barns there, and they're everything's older there, like 50 years. The barns with the old nails that were forged by hand, and Michigan got sold quite a bit later. We were what, a state in 1836?
36 or 38. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, but we were
well, this house has the old post and beams, the
tamarack
poles up in the attic.
Yeah, which I didn't. It's the first time I ever heard of anybody building anything on tamarack. His uncle Rick told us.
Tamarak's good stuff.
Is it? I don't think it's not used as a fence post or anything, is it? I mean, I don't know if it's super rot resistant. Around here, we can use black locust, mulberry. What else? White oak. If you dry white oak, I've used white oak for fence. And what's Brad say? Hay prices are good. Unfortunately, I never have any extra to sell. I haven't sold a heifer in years. Yep. It's been a few years since I sold a cow. So yeah, I mean, you got quite a big hay operation though. So, and you got a big beef. I mean, you're direct marketing a lot of beef. So you're running that. Yeah, I don't blame you there. I mean, with and that's with all the silage and everything you're doing, right? Because you're chopping and grazing. Brad does a lot of grazing. So yeah, and then Ryan says what? Yup.
Next, an old farm that was built 1790.
Yeah, they're yeah.
We got a graveyard with somebody born in 1790.
Yeah, they were still in the early 1800s. The French, Indians, and British were all still fighting over the territory here.
Oh, they fought forever.
Yeah, because the French and the British they'd get different Indian tribes on their side at different times. Sometimes they were with the British, sometimes they were with the French, and but yeah, it still wasn't even. It was just a territory for quite a while.
Yeah.
What part of the Northwest Territories or something?
1790, we were the United States.
Yeah, just Michigan wasn't made into a state yet.
No.
And Michigan was part of the U.S.
People settling out here.
Yeah, Michigan. Well, I don't know. I don't know if all of Michigan was in the U.S. back then. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So Brad says silage and corn for the steers. The cows are on the hay. Yes, all the butcher animals. What's they say? Hitch a ride with me to. Yeah, see, so he, that's. I had quite a direct marketing beef business for a while years ago. I was probably doing, about 25 carcasses a year, and then it tapered off. And everybody got into it around here.
People started growing their own. Their buddy would grow them.
Yeah, and then now, because when the commercial slaughter got compromised and all these small facilities stayed open, everybody embraced buying. They went to, and I don't blame. Everybody would go to any guy who had beef cattle, and commodity prices are squat. They're still crap. So instead of going to the auction, guy that usually isn't selling them to people off the streets, like, fine, make an appointment at the meat locker. So, and we're not,
but you can't make an appointment too fast.
Well, now we're
a year
and a half to 2 years out.
Oh.
And I had a guy come and kill some on the farm and took it to a place that charged twice as much to cut them up. And they didn't do that good a job. So I ended up with some ground beef with fragments of bone in them. It makes you look bad. So
no.
I'm kind of wondering what the future, unless you don't have a good tie-in and are directly invested in the processor like somebody like Brad is, I'm kind of wondering what the future is for somebody to really direct market their beef on a good enough scale to make it worth it, because the prices of processing are going pretty darn high too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, well, it takes I don't know where I'm at. I just acquired a lot more grazing ground. I got 2 people with large chunks want me to come and graze it. So I decreased my brood cow herd though in the last 5 or 6 years. So it's like now, and I haven't.
You got the ground now. You don't have the herd,
and I haven't kept any replacements for a while. So now I'm thinking about maybe buying some bred replacement heifers. And I like the vigor of the the black white face. And I'll have
Simmental.
No, I'm not gonna go Simmental because I have a grazing operation. I don't want big frame cattle. Although a buddy of mine, he's got big Simmental cows. What?
I like Simmentals.
You don't even own a Simmental.
Yeah, we do.
Jersey, Guernsey. You have a Simmental?
We have
Shorthorn.
We have like a dozen Simmentals.
Since when? There's Simmental.
There's still Simmental in there.
There's. He doesn't know what he's talking. There's what? Simmental Cross?
Holstein's Simmental Cross.
Yeah.
I thought you guys had Shorthorn, Jersey.
Shorthorns, Guernseys, Jerseys.
Wish you people would make up your mind on what kind of cattle you got here.
We like a rainbow.
When I was a little kid, you had Guernseys and Jerseys.
We've got Guernseys. Yeah.
They came with a bunch of Holstein steers, and you want these little Simmental Holstein Cross.
Oh, okay. You're
70.
crosses now
We
too.
kept the heifers.
Yeah.
Got the
So-
heifers.
Well, you guys don't have a grazing operation though, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want big cows, but a buddy of mine up by Houghton Lake, he just sold out. He had Simmental Angus cross, and they were big framed animals, and he was finishing them out on baleage
Ooh, okay.
and alfalfa hay, and at 18 months that kind of rivaled grain fed animals. And they were big. They were opposite of everything Michigan State said.
Mhm.
'Cause Michigan State up at Lake City sold all their Simmental herd, which
Mhm.
the cows averaged 1,750 pounds. And when the budget crunch came, MSU said we're not going to spend $45,000 on fertilizer for Lake City Farm anymore per year.
Oh yeah, yeah. that makes sense.
And so they sold all their Simmentals, went out west to Montana and bought smaller framed, like 1,100 pound red Angus cows.
Okay.
They bought like about 250 of them.
Angus are fucking
And
crazy.
they're grazing, and they went all the grazing. They're grazing about 650 acres. They kept some of their brand new seeded alfalfa fields, and then they got rid of. They bought hay. They were buying hay for 80 to 180 a ton, and it was costing them, $130 a ton.
Yeah.
Of course, anything the university does is fantasy land because it's they
It's
had a
university.
giant square baler, for baling 80 acres of hay.
Well, it's
Brand
the,
new tray, like
it's
5
the university. They cough, and somebody gives them a golden egg that just got laid. I mean, hey.
Their
But,
cattle chutes all hydraulic gates and hydraulic squeeze and head gate. Guy sitting there at a control panel running it. And I'm going, well, that's and
no. Our squeeze gates are those two guys pushing the gate up against the cabs,
yeah.
and I'm following.
or
behind
setting
with
on the
needle.
cat.
Setting on-
Yeah. I got a little bit more of a system because I got cows out on pastures.
Your
Yeah.
system is
Like
set
how-
up the squeeze chute, walk around to the other side of the hill, take your boots off, combat crawl up to the corral.
Oh, that was to round up those beef steers, but I've got pretty good working facility. So
yeah, you do.
So we got some kind. Yeah, Brad says I am fortunate that I can sell my beef right from the freezer at our plant. Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking I'm not so sure I'm going to get back into. Still, I'm struggling to try to direct market half a dozen head of beef a year because of processing now. But I don't know that I'm going to jump back into it just because now people have embraced buying from the farmer, which I think is awesome. I hope that trend continues, but I don't know that the commercial industry is just going to set aside and let that happen.
Probably
The
not.
packers have a lot of control on the industry. I mean, they're really controlling the price. They're killing the cattlemen right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how a cow-calf guy is going to make anything selling calves. It's almost like you ought to get into registered brood stock at this point, I mean, what calves are selling for is
Mhm.
I sold some calves. I sell them all locally to a couple local guys.
Yeah.
They come right there, buy them. We run them over the scales next door at the gravel pit. I mean, I got $1.50 a pound, which was kind of
Pretty
more
good.
than a lot of people in my area got.
That was
Not by-
good.
And I didn't feel happy after I got the money from them. I was like, so what? It wasn't enough,
Well, it's like the guy we sold the steers to, Matt Hoisington over there. He was contracted to a packing plant. Well, the steers came and went from choice grade to the next grade down.
Select something, yeah.
Yes.
Is there a couple select grades? You guys grade cattle, or is that not even a topic that comes up, Brad? Ryan says here, you want to get people going crazy, start talking about organic dairy. Or
You don't want to. Yeah, I
boy,
agree
you don't
with
want to
you,
start
Ryan.
in some of those. Yeah, well, that market got flooded.
Yes, it did.
There was a lot of people that there's a decent amount of organic dairies here in Michigan, but yeah, like
You gotta wait for somebody to
but-
go out at this point in order. to
yeah,
get in.
you guys were considering before you got out of milking, grade A or whatever to go in organic dairy.
We weren't given a choice
Yeah,
to get out.
but we went to one organic dairy the Michigan Forage Council, we had a bus tour in central Michigan a couple summers ago. And we went to one, the guy had about 100 cow dairy. And it was unbelievable the equipment he had. And, and what he spent per acre to get ground up to what his standard of fertilizer and production was. He was putting like a couple $100 an acre in the ground, you know, per acre just to get it up to production. And then he was putting like $400 or $500 per acre a year to maintain it. It was just unbelievable, the inputs. But yeah, what's your take on organic dairy, Ryan? You have a take on this? Are you thinking of going that route, or you got neighbors that are doing that? Because you know the problem with organic dairy is you know, getting that corn, what, $12 a bushel, you know, when it's
crazy.
Yeah. And I started supplementing some of I haven't fed corn. I got out of feeding corn in 2008, 2009. Probably was 2009 after the ethanol craze, you know, when corn went up to $8 a bushel. And I had to do, in order to survive and not get absolutely killed by the big row crop people in my area, I said, I got to operate on a different economic scale than them, because I didn't want to buy their inputs. All my, which I mean, I am buying fertilizer, which is controlled by those commodity prices. But what are you going to do if you don't fertilize, you know? But I haven't done much of that, commercial granulated fertilizer. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to, I don't want to buy corn from my neighbors anymore because it was killing. I'm a forage producer, and like I try to do gains with high quality forage. Well, it worked out good when I had high quality forage. You don't have high quality forage, makes it pretty difficult to finish animals good. And you know, you finish them 25 to 30 months. Get some animals that look like they got finish on them before that. But they really, the difference going the extra 6 months really makes a difference in the quality of taste. So but I'm not going to go back into storing corn and buying corn. And what we're dealing with now, it's so hard to buy corn from another farmer, because when this is what really got me out of corn. I hooked up my gravity box. I was buying 100 bushel every couple weeks from this guy. I said, hey, I need corn. And that day he goes, oh, I contracted the rest of it for the year. Didn't tell me. And so then you're forced to go to an elevator feed store or something, and you're paying retail. You can't be in the freezer beef business
and do that.
Paying, you know, you're selling a product retail. You got to buy your inputs wholesale. So I just don't. And guys that are buying corn now, the guys that bought my calves, they're buying corn, and they're looking at the prices, and so they're going to do some things. They're doing some silage, did some they're doing quite a bit of sorghum Sudan, you know, Sudex. But I'm going to help them. We're going to do got a couple new pieces of ground. We're going to do peas and oats. But I'd like to do, but that uncut crop by what, mid to late June. And I'm wondering about underseeding that or interseeding with ryegrass. Or they're thinking we plow back up and go in with Sudex, because you plant Sudex what, mid-July?
As long as it's warm enough, you can plant it.
So Brad says, I haven't priced fertilizer yet, but I hear it's gone up in price. Yeah, it has. I need to stop at the co-op tomorrow. So I pre-bought some potash. What I did, I saw, again, we're talking about predictions of the hay season. So a month ago, it's probably a month and
I was surprised.
Probably 2 months ago, I pre-bought. I went to a big farmer, and the way these big guys are staying in business, they got leverage. They're doing smart things. So remember, a lot of the guys are still operating are pretty sharp with a pencil. And I knew this one guy by me, he's real sharp. And I said, I bet he pre-bought fertilizer. And I wonder if he's got some extra, because I'm hiring him to put it in. They don't really charge much to put it in. You know, he's got one of them big 3-wheeler, you know, deals with a blue race.
Are we talking Keith?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. You know, that's how they're getting by. making pennies on the dollars because they pre-bought. So I was able to get potash quite a bit cheaper. Now I bought 523.35 that was 535 a ton.
When I saw that video you posted the other day of putting fertilizer down, I was surprised after all the lectures you've given me about buying fertilizer for hay.
Well, I'm judicious. What I'm doing is because I can't
Hi,
get enough
Danny.
on with.
Hi, Danny. Welcome to the live stream.
Then Ryan says he's got what did it say? I'm upgrading the farm and grow organic corn for silage to add extra feed to make the pounds go up. Okay. So are you an organic dairy then, Ryan?
Just
or
trying to get into
trying to get into it. Okay. All right. Who's Danny E? I priced urea 560 a ton or 590 in bags. Okay. All right.
And chicken shit
Then
does
Ryan.
work good.
I love good old chicken shit. Yeah, chicken manure. That's
Hey,
hard to
Ag.
get. That's expensive to get though, because
It
chicken
is.
you get good nitrogen on it. What is it like 10% nitrogen or something on chicken litter?
It will burn.
Oh,
It will burn stuff.
Egg Wild, how you doing, buddy? I was asking. Egg Wild showed travel a long ways with that bale mover to get round bales.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going down the road. He was commenting on how much tonnage he had behind him. And I was curious when I asked you, I commented on your video about using the power shift. Do you shift up where you're using that, carrying that weight? Because, my older tractors, I always kind of baby the power shifts. And on that Massey 2705.
You have to.
And the Massey 2700 series about bankrupted Massey. I think that kind of did the warranty work on their power shifts. And I was told, don't downshift with weight and don't shift up hauling a lot of weight.
Yeah,
So,
but towing a baler isn't going to kill.
of course, he's got new jet. No, he was hauling like 20 tons of round bales or something behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Danny each. Last year he paid for 20. Okay. Yeah. Larson Valley. Danny E out last year I paid. Okay. That's what Brad said. Okay. Ryan says taking over on Elsa's farm, it's absolutely hard to get a milk contract if you're starting from the ground. Oh, okay. Are you having trouble with trucking? Because I know that's what put a lot of people out of business over by me. On my side of the county,
It's putting a lot of people out of business.
we had 9
period.
dairy farms go out in like a year or two because of trucking. And when they tried to switch to other trucking companies, it wasn't Michigan milk producer truckers, so there was a problem with the contract, and MMPA wanted to sue them. Yeah, the roads were shitty, so I needed a shift.
Needed to shift a lot.
Okay.
I keep hoping.
You want to see shitty roads? You come to Michigan.
Yeah.
We got the worst road. There's no state that has worse roads than Michigan.
Oh, my area I'm in, we have nice 2-lane roads for the most part. You get over some of the stuff he farms, it's like a deer trail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was going down this one road last year the brief stint I worked for him. It's like, is the tractor going to fit?
Oh, and I'm over in traffic, so I'm in the eastern side of the county where it's almost suburbia. And
now it is
he
suburbia.
freaked out because I had him bail for me, and I needed him to drive across this 2-lane straight. It was 5-lane state highway at that point because it had the middle lane for turning, and it was double lane.
didn't freak
And
out.
he was chicken shit to do it because he's not used to driving in traffic. And I said, you drive a car, right? And that's what I do with my farm equipment. I tell all my guys, just stay right in the lane and we drive it. It's actually the worst thing you can do is pull over, So, yeah.
Then I was driving normal through there. Only thing is, people don't give a fuck if you're on a tractor.
Our county's idea of snow removal is
let the sun do it. That actually sounds about right.
Well, I mean, people don't have a choice. When I'm driving the tractor, I'm in the lane. I don't pull over.
Yeah, but I don't want to test insurance too much.
Hey, I'm insured. When you're in a big machine, they respect you more. I notice if you're in the smaller tractors, they don't give a shit about you. But when you're in the big tractors, and I also noticed, you know, I put all LED
It
flashers.
gets hairy out here at the stop sign.
You guys, this is a joke. He lives way out. There's nothing hairy. He's 100 yards from the stop sign. What do you mean?
People don't stop. It's a two.
This is amateur hour out there. Y'all come drive the roads where I'm at. You want and pull some big.
Now,
equipment.
you were saying the other year that people in suburbia respect tractors more than they do out in the country, and there is truth
I
to
think
that.
there's out here they're going like 80 miles an hour down the country
Yes.
roads. Or by me, there's too much traffic to get going that fast. You know.
Thank you,
Josh,
Timer.
What's?
Thank you, Josh.
He's being sarcastic.
No, they drive like bats out of hell out here. I mean, it just, yeah. I mean, you do the cruise.
Well, we've had
stop sign.
semis just blow that
So
stop
the
sign
road
at
over here,
55.
the Fleming Road, Chase Lake intersection, my mom, and do you remember Augustine's lived up there?
Yeah.
Fleming? So they would joke, Thelma Augustine would say, well, when I come back from grocery shopping at night, I just blow through that intersection. I turn my headlights off so I can see anybody else's lights as they're coming. And then my mom thought, well, what if I do the same thing? Anybody do that? Egg Wild probably does that. He's way out. Well, where he's at, you see a car coming for like miles. Because he's what, Nebraska? Where are you at? Western Nebraska or Central? Looks like he's in kind of drier. Like you're not in Eastern Nebraska, right? It's more like short grass prairie.
You know, Ryan, that's actually funny you say that because
light check. Yeah, Brad does that.
Because
You're wet.
our
You're
local logger does that.
It's raining out.
Our local logger will drive loaders if they're within a half hour from his house.
Oh, the UP logging trucks run you off the road, man. I got ran into a swamp, man. They came around there. It was a big double ass trailer logging truck, just ran me right into the swamp. Egg Wild. What do you say? Otherwise, they pass.
At bad times.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
that's why the worst thing you can do is try to drive partially on the shoulder. You're enticing somebody to pass you. No, you stay on and
you stay between the fucking paint.
Yeah, the worst thing I see, people will pass you as somebody's pulling out of their driveway.
Yes.
I've had situations, and around me, you know, there's a lot of people biking on the road.
Okay.
I might have a guy on a bike ahead of me, and the car behind me wants to pass me at like 50 miles an hour. They're going to kill that biker because they don't see it.
No, they don't.
So that's when I literally then I go in the middle of the road because I'm like, because I know that guy in front of me, and it's not too much a problem. The bikers don't bother me because they're going by as fast as I'm going. You know, I mean, my tractors go 15 or 16. I don't have any.
No,
hey,
yours
wow,
can do
you got
20.
the John Deere's probably go 25 or something. If the roads aren't too shitty, right?
Well, you remember last year during that tractor drive, we had Cody Robbins in the 8000 bringing up the rear.
Oh yeah,
he would just about run people off the road.
Yeah, tractor guy. John Deere 60 is about 12 miles an hour.
It's slow.
Yeah, Ryan says. Only problem we have here driving tractors in the road is the tourist, but everyone usually is good about it. Yeah, I mean, most people are. I probably only get flipped off. I get
once
flipped
a day.
No, I get flipped off more hauling round bales with my truck and trailer. I had a guy in M59 state highway because I mean I was going 40, 45. The roads are too shitty. I wasn't even going right now with the frost heaving. And MDOT doesn't see the need to put expansion seams every so often. You're going over a speed bump. And this guy in some Chevy sedan passed me on the right shoulder, and he about went in the ditch. And he's flipping me off as he's passing. So then I catch up to him in an intersection, of course. But he was turning left, and I really flipped him off then. I mean, I'll once in a while flip them off, not all the time. I mean, I'm usually in a good mood, you know, laughing my ass off. So where's Danny E at? Says
I don't know.
Big equipment on the main roads.
But
I send a pilot truck in front with beacon lights. Well, yeah, you're talking like over wide loads. But I don't have anybody follow me because I think that creates more of a hazard. I mean, I want people to be able to pass when it's safe. So I don't need like old Mike, this old friend of mine. He's like 81, going on 90. He come out and visit me at the field. He shouldn't even be driving it. He'll insist on following me. I go, no, Mike, go to the field ahead of me. He'll just get behind me with his flashers on, staying way back there. So instead of being 30 feet long, I'm now 100 feet long.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, Josh, guy passed you the other day in the turn lane. Yeah, that's right, he did. Oh, Danny's in Pennsylvania. Okay. Are you farming there?
By the way, Danny, I like your New Holland logo.
Oh, is that? Oh, I bet he works for New Holland. Yeah, it's New Holland. Yeah. Well, it's in Pennsylvania. That makes sense. Fun thing to do here in the spring, Ryan says, is what? What? Slow down the frosties, and the tourists will fly around and hit them.
Funny, so yeah.
So a tourist might come up there for what, fall colors, or just for camping in the summer, or what?
Oh, it's got to be fall colors.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Maine's a beautiful state. It's like the UP.
The only driver I can think of that is more willing to hog the center of the road if somebody disagrees with him is Scott. You don't know, you haven't met him yet, but Scott has a Steiger with a 20-foot disc, fold-up disc. He goes down the road to do tillage with. He will go down the center of the road. He will not pull over unless it's for a semi or another tractor.
Yeah.
Because there have been dig marks in our banks against the road where Scott had to pull over.
Brad says, "All right, guys. All right, Brad's taking off. Thanks for visiting. We haven't seen you on YouTube a whole lot, but you're burning candle at both ends, buddy. Farming and working at that meat plant now. So, but yeah, you got a good thing going. So that's good. We'll cut you later. So I don't know how much longer we gonna stay on.
About another 10.
You guys get tired of us blabbing?
Probably not.
Let's see, Ryan. I hate the tourists, but the farms that do farm the table of it. Well, yeah. If you're in, absolutely. You know.
God, yeah. That's,
I mean, tourists bring in the money.
That's like a gold bar for them.
Yeah. Where do the tourists come from for your part of the state? I think you said your northwest part of the state, right? You getting them like out of Massachusetts or what? I mean, Maine doesn't have enough people in it, does it, to have tourists? I mean, of their own. Well, I mean, what? Because they got what, Portland and Portsmouth. I went to Maine once with a good buddy of mine who grew up. His buddies were our merchant mariners. And they were fun. They have that East Coast sense of humor, real dry sense of humor. They were funny as shit. I mean, they were just that East Coast, don't take shit from anybody, sarcastic. We were, we were buying lobster from the fishermen right at the dock.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, yeah. And these guys had been all around the world. So,
wow.
But, well, let's see. Ryan says
New York,
Mass, New
Mass,
Jersey, and
yeah,
all over Texas. Well,
That's a stretch.
yeah,
That's a few miles.
yeah. That was, yep. Well, the Bushes had a place in Maine, didn't they? Kenny Bunkport, and they're from Texas, right?
No idea.
Oh, he went from Texas. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I asked him if he'd seen Stephen King. He said no. He hadn't seen. He doesn't watch his movies, like Pet Sematary or anything like that.
Only Stephen King movie I've watched off the top of my head, I remember, is Maximum Overdrive.
I've never even heard of that one.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Stephen King movie, Maximum Overdrive. It's a horror film, right? Or he does.
Yeah. Trucks and bulldozers and stuff alive, and they trap a bunch of people inside a truck stop.
Oh, that'd be fun. I never. He did. Didn't he do the one with the car that killed people? Was it Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
I know what it is though.
If you watch his movies, they're all based. I think they're mostly based in Maine. And the people try to act like they got a Maine accent. I don't know if it's fake Maine accent or if they really hired people from Maine to be in some of the movie, the extras and stuff. But let's see what he says. I only watch the best movies.
Convoy.
Convoy, Smokey the Bandit. Yeah, I remember. So I remember, Ryan, you probably weren't born. Well, you weren't born yet. So when Convoy came out, that was in the mid 70s
76.
when
or
the speed limit
77.
got
It was
changed from
55.
70 to 55. Gerald Ford was president, and well, I think Ford made it 55, or was that Carter?
I can't remember. Off the top of my
I
head.
think Ford did. And so the truckers all had CB radios, and that's when CBs got popular. And then everybody in their cars had it. And that's when they were talking about where the cops were. Remember, Smokey? Smokey was
Burt
Smokey
Reynolds.
Bear was a state trooper.
Yep.
County Mountie was your county sheriff. And then a local yokel.
Yep.
Yeah, there's your, and I had CBs in my tractors. That white had CBs back then, and I had the sideband frequencies, the legal and I had actually used to be able to go get extra channels added that were illegal FCC channels. I mean, and I had like 120 channels, and then I put a 100-watt power booster so that I could talk farther. Yeah. And that was back then. Yeah, you could. So there was a big bunch of CB slang. Ryan says they're fake Maine accents. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. You have to come up to my way.
Get the real accent.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember watching one, and even to me, I think Pet Cemetery. And this old farmer, he was in overalls. They're trying to make him do like a Maine accent. And I went, I don't think that was a real Maine accent, But
well, back on the CB, I got a good story to add to that. One of the guys that used to buy our bull calves when we were milking cows, he worked at Ford at Lansing. He worked at GM in Lansing, and it was the time when they were installing CB radios in the cars at the factory. And
I never remember them installing. I think he's bullshitting you.
No, they were putting them in cars.
Maybe
they were talking. They were talking with people in Lansing, the gangsters that had CB radios, and a couple times a week, they would have those gangsters riled up so bad that they were going, "Where are you? We're gonna slit your throat. Where are you?"
Well, I'm gonna head home, man. So what's Ryan saying? Me and my buddy had cab
CB in the back of the truck.
Oh, CB. Sitting in high school parking lot talking about funny. How? Yeah. So, well, Ryan, you're in what? Your early 20s or something? Didn't you say?
He's younger than me.
Yeah, younger than you. I think he told me how old because he was on one of my live streams. Yeah, and Ryan, you changed your name, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Before he was Ryan Ellis Chalmers Farm Boy. Was he Farm Boy something?
It was Ryan McLean.
That's his. No, he had another one. Was it Ryan McLean? Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah. Yep, 20 years old. So.
Yeah, you're still young.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go home. I've had long couple days, so hopefully we'll get some rain, and we'll have to try this again, guys.
Gen Z Dairyman. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, is that what he was? Gen Z.
Yeah.
That's right. Gen Z Dairyman. Okay.
See ya.
All right. All right. See you later, Egg Wild. We'll talk to you guys.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in for a live stream. See y'all.
All right. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your mom I said.